Hi, friends. It's Sarah from Ruffles and Rainboots.com here to make a Dollar Tree Easter tree gnome. Look how cute he is. If you'd like to make it, boop, stick around. As always, please give this video a like so I know you're here crafting with me. I made this because Amazon was late on delivery and I needed something for another craft, but I thought it turned out super cute. If you'd like to make him, here is what you need. I am going to be using bright spring colors. I have a little bit left of this pretty fur. These are resin boots. I got them at Michael's for 40% off yesterday. Some rocks for weight. I am going to use 2 or 3 of these Valentine Day trees from the Dollar Tree. I'm thinking 3 is what we're going to need. I'm going to be using this microfiber towel, a nose of some kind, wood, bead, pom-pom, this very fabulous scrap of fur, and some decorations. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. All right, so the first thing I need to do is weigh down this. It's very light. It's just like a resin planter. And so I'm just going to pop in these 2 rocks, making sure that nothing is in the way of my trees. And then speaking of the trees, these are the Dollar Tree Valentine trees. They are not as robust as the Christmas trees. And when I pulled them apart and put all of the pieces, see how all the pieces are going to go to one side? Otherwise, it looks a little sparse, friends, you know? So I'm going to pull all of these all one way. And although there are quite a few branches, again, there's these huge gaps in between each level of branch, and they look a little more sparse than the holiday trees, like the green or the white ones. So I don't know. We'll see. I think I'm going to need 3 at this point. So I have 4 on hand. Please let me know in the comments what I should do with the 4th one. All right, so again, I'm going to grab all these. You can discard the little 3-piece plastic stand or figure out something else to do with them. I don't know yet. Maybe I should stop tossing those in recycling. All right, so now I'm just going to make sure that I like the look of 3 instead of going to get 4. And yes, I think 3 is going to be perfectly fine for these boots. You can take off these little plastic cap things at the bottom. Just make sure that you glue in all of the bottom of this string. Otherwise, it will unravel. And you don't want to just spend like 20 minutes raveling that stuff back together. Ask me how I know. I'm going to put them together with some floral wire. This is a 12 gauge, really cheap from Daiso. Dollar Tree has it from time to time. Craft stores always have it. We're just going to join the very, very top, which will be covered by our hat, and the very, very bottom, which will be inside our boots. But you see how each section has these huge gaps? That's all I'm going to use. So I'm just lining up these gaps and moving the tinsel out of the way so that I can just wrap this around a few times. I do wrap it pretty tightly so I don't have to worry about it coming done when it's time to pack this decoration away. I'm just cutting it with these wire cutter section of my pliers that I have on hand, but honestly, you can cut this stuff with scissors. It's not real nice. All right, so I'm just fluffing everything out, making sure I like where it is. Okay. Oh, see my Highland cow? Yeah, that's what I'm waiting on from Amazon. We'll just push that aside. Put everything aside because now we're moving on to another part of this adorable Easter guy. Okay, these are from the Dollar Tree. Super all the time. You can find these in the automotive section. They are microfiber towels. You're just going to want to get an idea on the very, very top of your trees, maybe like 3 inches down, what that width is. Cut the rest off. Now, I am going to actually create a brim on the right side of the fabric. So the fabric side that is showing. So I'm just going to use my hot glue gun to roll it up about an inch all the way across. And then, because I don't want to see their little hem, I'm going to roll it up again and glue that. So you're losing a couple inches, but because we're making a slouchy hat and because it's going to have a cut rise, it doesn't matter. I promise it will look cute. All right, so just glue that down, making sure it is all the way secure. And move on. And you can add a brim of anything you'd like. If you like to add a faux fur, if you want to add yarn, whatever you like. Make sure it is set, put right sides together. Again, we were working on the right side, remember? You're now going to go up a few inches over here and cut what is called a rise into this hat. And that's because we want to be able to tuck the whole hat into like it kind of like makes it curvy in the back so you can put something in the pocket like extra tinsel and it still curves around the gnome booty, if you will. All right, we're just going to glue this all the way up. I am using a detailed tip hot glue gun, but if you notice, it no longer has a detailed tip because I just dropped it. The girls came, my daughter and a friend came home while I was making this. I dropped it right off the table, kicked it because I wanted to stop it with my foot, made it worse, and broke off the tip. So I ordered from a new one from Amazon, literally while I'm filming this video. Okay, so now I'm just going to pull out the tip of the hat. You don't need a very pointy tip because we're going to make ourselves a little pom-pom. So now we're going to slip on the hat, pop it over to one side. You can choose the seam side or not, but I'm going to put this rise that we cut down the back so it all tucks in nicely. Fluffing out the tinsel just to make sure I have an idea of how long or how big I need to cut my gnome beard. All right, I have this piece of cast off. It's just craft store felt, but I just got an idea and it made me as happy as a little girl with a new party dress. Y'all, I'm gonna make a bunny. I'm gonna make a bunny. All right, so if you're new to cutting faux fur, you're just gonna cut about a 4-inch, here you go, wide piece of faux fur. Now you can cut it into a square, you can cut it into a U shape. It doesn't matter. You can cut it into a V. All of those will work for this project. I just thought the little U shape was going to be the best because I wanted to see as much of that tinsel as possible. And you can even cut a shorter beard. So mine is about 4 inches wide by about 4 inches high. If you want to show off more of the tinsel, just cut it 3. Don't go any shorter than that because you lose about a 1/2 inch. So now I'm going to cut a 2-inch by 2-inch square, and I'm just going to make myself a nice little pom-pom for the bottom of the, or the tip of the gnome hat. I'm just taking hot glue, taking each corner point and gluing it to the center. Try not to put the fur on top of the fur. You just want the faux fur fabric backing to be glued together. All right, now we're gonna hold it there till it sets, take it and bang it on the table a lot of times. You're gonna glue where the seam joins together in the back right to the end of your little hat. And makes all the ugly parts covered. Hold it there until it dries. All right, to put on our nose, which I also had a moment of crisis, indecisive crisis. I'm just going to split the fur to its fabric backing. I like to pull up a little bit so it covers the top of that nose. And then here's where my dowel cap seemed a little excessive. So I took a 1-inch wood round instead, and I added a generous portion of hot glue and pressed that ball right onto my fur and held it until it set. All right, brush this down and set it aside. Now, remember when I had that epiphany of dancing around like a little happy, happy, happy girl in a party dress? So we have some cast off. We have a little bit extra fur. I'm going to make some ears. Okay. Take a little rectangle, fold it over on itself, and cut an ear shape. Does it have to be perfect? No, guys, girls, doesn't have to be perfect. We're just going to create a basic shape like that. Now, we're just going to cut our piece of faux fur a tiny bit smaller than that. And it doesn't have to be an ear shape. In fact, don't try it. You're going to cut yourself. So just cut off the top 2 corners. That's it. Just making sure that the fabric backing is smaller than the ear. That's it. We're just going to add a generous portion of hot glue. I just got the brain child here to add some wire using the same wire I used, making sure I had a good 2 inches of that wire sticking out the bottom. And then I just glued up the side. You're not even like gluing it onto the fur. You're just gluing it up the side to itself. See that? It's kind of folding over. That's it. Do that all the way around. You can pull it into a little point like I did, or just round it off. Both will work all the way around. And then once you have that, you can brush the fur out and then repeat the entire process for this second ear. You don't have to make them bendable. Like you can make really long ones that flop down to the side. Oh, that would be cute too. Just make sure you have enough hot glue to hold this all together and then repeat, making sure you just make a cute little ear shape. Isn't this fun? Dollar Tree projects like this. Like I mentioned, I was waiting on something for Amazon to deliver. They said they were going to be late. I started this. I had no plan for this when I started. I hope you think it's as cute as I do. It's sitting next to my fireplace right now. All right, so I'm going to glue this on the underside of the brim of the hat so that when it's time to pack this away, we can easily take this apart and lay it flat. Okay, so now we're just gonna pull that hat on, making sure you like where the tinsel sits and everything. All right, making sure it looks good all the way around. Grab an X-Acto knife, go right outside each side of the beard and just make a tiny little hole. Don't need a long, big hole. Pop the wire in and then you can bend these however you want. I repeated it for the other side. Again, not secured, so I can easily take this apart and use it on something else or store it away. Now, I think he's cute, but I would love to hear what you think in the comments section below. As always, friend, thank you so much for being here with me. Please like, please share, and please subscribe for more crafty fun.